Mic check. Excellent. Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Minister of Finance, National Security, Citizenship and Immigration, Health and Human Resource Management and Social Security, Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Youth Empowerment, Housing and Human Settlement, Ecclesiastical and Faith-Based Affairs, Social Development, Gender Affairs, Aging and Disabilities. Other honorable members of the Federal Cabinet, other honorable members of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic Corps and head of regional organizations with diplomatic status. Sorry, I apologize. Ms. Thelma Richard, head of Civil Service, Ms. Lisa Pistana, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, St. Kitts and Nevis, Mr. Darrell Lloyd, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities, ITAL, other permanent secretaries and senior government officials, Dr. Tamu Brown, Chair, Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, CFBC Board of Governors, other members of the Board of Governors for the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, Mr. Andrew Abraham, President, Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, Presidents and Deans of invited universities, Mr. Jomo Williams, General Manager of SCELEC, other members of senior admin, deans, faculty members of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, other members of staff and students of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, Mr. Fitzroy Wilkin, Chair of the St. Kitts Nevis Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Council, other council members, members of staff, faculty members, and students of TVET, Dr. Wayne Archibald, Founder and Executive Director, Green Solutions International, GSI, Mr. Sean W. O'Brien, President and CEO, North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, NABCEP, CFBC's GSI Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation and Workforce Trainees, members of civil society, other specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Excellent. And welcome to the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College and Green Solutions International SKN Incorporated launch of the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation and Workforce Training. A round of applause, please. Today is indeed a day to be remembered and a day of celebration. This project not only signifies a direct response to the United Nations call to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts, but it also responds to the Sustainable Development Goal of ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. The CFBC, via this project, will serve as the regional hub for training in solar PV installation and EV maintenance and repairs, thus filling a significant gap in the Eastern Caribbean. Ladies and gentlemen, today the CFBC is opening a new chapter, and you are here to witness it. At this time, we'll stand for the singing of the national anthem. This will be immediately followed by the invocation.
Struggles, St. Kitts and Nevis be a
I bring to you the invocation. God speaks to us through his word, which says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day unto day utters speech, and night unto night reveals knowledge. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth, who have set your glory above the heavens. The earth is the Lord's, and all its fullness, the world and those who dwell therein. For he has founded it upon the seas and established it upon the waters. Almighty God, our loving Heavenly Father, our Creator, our Provider, our wonderful Savior, we give you thanks for this new day that you have granted us through your great mercy. As we gather here in this Poinciana conference room at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College for this well-anticipated special occasion, the Caribbean Center for Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training launch, Holy Spirit, we give you honor and glory for allowing us to reach this pivotal point with this important renewable energy project. Lord, we ask that you pour out your rich blessings upon these proceedings today and upon all those who will be involved in this project. Lord, we ask for your special blessing upon the CFBC. We also ask for your special blessing upon Green Solutions International. We ask your special blessing upon the Prime Minister and his cabinet colleagues and their families. And we ask your special blessing also upon everyone present here today and all those who are tuned in currently. And even as we continue to take good care of and preserve this earthly environment that you have entrusted to us, we claim great success for this launch and for this project. And we make this claim in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, our wonderful Lord. Let all the people praise the Lord. Let all the people say, Amen.
Amen. Indeed, we are grateful for God's blessings. At this time, I would like to invite the President, Mr. Andrew Abraham, to offer his remarks.
Chair Lady, permit me to adopt the protocol that was already established. But let me take this opportunity, Chair, to welcome our Prime Minister, Dr. Ju, our Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, Dr. Hanley, and of course, our AG Wilkin, our Head of Services here as well. Ms. Richard, welcome. And of course, our Chair of our Board of Governors, Dr. Tamu Petra Brown, and of course, our PS of Education. Everyone, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a momentous occasion as we gather to inaugurate the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. This innovative center made possible through the generous support of the UNDP Small Grants Program in partnership with Green Solutions International, offering the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioner NABCEP certification marks a significant milestone in our journey towards excellence and progress in education and industry here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. At CFBC, we have always strived to be at the forefront of innovation, anticipating the needs of our community and the region. The launch of this Center of Excellence is deeply aligned with our institution's short, medium, and long-term goals, as well as our commitment to the core pillars of the CFBC board. In the short term, this partnership provides immediate opportunities for our students and currently our trainers to engage in high-quality research and training in renewable energy technologies, particularly in solar photovoltaic installation and maintenance. The latest statistic from the Organization of East Caribbean States, the OECS, and the CARICOM community region reveal a growing demand for skilled professionals in this field, with a significant increase in solar PV installation in recent years. For example, in 2023 alone, the OECS recorded a 20% increase in solar PV installation compared to the previous year. In the medium term, the establishment of the Caribbean Center of Excellence positions CFBC as a regional leader in renewable energy education and innovation. By providing cutting-edge training and certification through NABCEP, we empower our graduates with the skills and knowledge necessary to meet the growing demands for renewable energy solutions in the Caribbean. Furthermore, this initiative fosters collaboration between academia, industry, and government, driving economic growth and sustainability across the region. Looking ahead in the long term, the impact of this project extends far beyond our college campus. By nurturing a generation of skilled professionals and innovators in renewable energy, we contribute to the resilience and prosperity of our nation and the wider Caribbean community. As we strive towards a more sustainable future, CFBC remains committed to equipping our students with the tools they need to succeed in the 21st century workforce. Moreover, the launch of this Caribbean Center of Excellence is firmly rooted in the core pillars of the CFBC board, particularly our dedication to 21st century programs that are fit for context and the needs of our community. We recognize the importance of providing education and training that aligns with the evolving demands of the job market, mostly in sectors such as renewable energy, where there is a growing need for skilled professionals. In closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the CFBC Board of Governors led by Dr. Brown, the UNDP Small Grants Program led by Ms. Eilis Watts, Green Solutions International led by Dr. Wayne Archibald, our project lead, Mr. Fitzroy Wilkin, for their invaluable support in making this initiative a reality. Together, we have the opportunity to make a lasting impact on the future of renewable energy in our federation, the Caribbean, and beyond. Let us seize this opportunity to empower our students, strengthen our communities, and build a brighter, more sustainable future for all. I thank you.
Thank you, President Abraham. Before I proceed, please allow me to recognize our former Vice President of Academic Services and Student Affairs, and most recent, well, past immediate, yes, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Mrs. Dolores Harris Stapleton. Well, Stapleton Harris, welcome, ma'am. Good morning. Yes. At this time, I would like to invite the project lead. Okay, at this time, I would also like to recognize the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Mr. Fitzroy Wilkin, who would provide a brief overview and remarks about the project. Can we put our hands together to welcome him, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. Now, yes, we are on fire. Now, you would have heard earlier that we are to build a hub. It's a regional hub, but it is also a center of excellence. It means that for us to be effective, we have to be strategic. And what we did in laying out the project and selecting trainees for our first cohort, we were very deliberate in identifying the criteria we're going to use to select persons for this first cohort. So we decided to choose trainees who would have had some exposure already to electronic training, because it is related to the training that will be delivered, exposure to EV or electric vehicles in any way, and also we looked at persons who would have the aptitude to absorb the material and go on to take the NABCEP certificate. You will hear a little more about the NABCEP and the certificate, so I will not dwell on that part of it. We advertised and we selected 15 participants. Of the 15, we have persons who are trained, experienced in teaching electrical and electronics, persons in the automotive vehicle field. We have selected persons who had exposure to engineering in renewable energy, and some small business / private sector persons. Now, because we want to build in-house capacity, we try to identify a broad cross-section of persons who we feel would be a good batch to start with to begin to build that capacity. We have, unfortunately, one female, and this is a concern for us. Right. I should also say that one female is from Nevis. We were very we were very deliberate in ensuring that we had within the first cohort representation from St. Kitts and Nevis. All right. So it is our intention that when we are offering the second cohort to be a little more aggressive in ensuring that we have more representation from the female gender. Of course, we know there's a stereotype within St. Kitts Nevis when it comes to training, and I think CFBC has to play a part in breaking that stereotype, in thinking that there are some courses that are for men and there are some for women. Okay? So we want to move this hub, this center of excellence, from a project, as it is now, to a program. So it will become, or it will be integrated into CFBC's regular program. And that is why we have to be strategic. So as we are laying out the project and building the program, we at CFBC would also have to look at our internal structures and operations and ensure that we make the necessary adjustments to facilitate and manage effectively that build-out that we envision. The CFBC has agreed to partner with GSI, and GSI has the expertise and the know-how to provide that type of support to work with CFBC in building out this hub, this center of excellence. I recognize that Dr. Archibald is on the program, so I will leave that to him when he gets here, all right? But I want us to understand that this is a new venture for CFBC. Even though it is not the first partnership that CFBC is engaged in, it's going to be a new venture because this is going to evolve to be a CFBC that will now be a regional hub. It will be the eye in the region for training in renewable energies. It would also mean that the CFBC would have to revisit its curriculum, and I am envisioning that CFBC will be fully green, meaning fully dependent on renewable energy as we build out this project. The training, the duration of the training, it is 6 weeks. The first 5 weeks are self-paced, online modular training, after which the trainees will engage in 1 week hands-on practical experience. And the training started officially the 2nd of April. I said officially because the trainees will be working with a platform and we wanted them to familiarize themselves on the platform. So they actually logged into the platform before April the 2nd, okay, to familiarize themselves. Our first orientation was on April the 2nd, and the trainees had several questions, quite a lot of questions. As a matter of fact, several trainees expressed interest in moving into specific areas of renewable energies. They also asked quite a lot of questions about whether we are only going to focus on PV installation and EV. So it seems as though that there are quite a lot of interest in not just what we are offering, but other areas of renewable energy. But we are going to start with what we can do best. And as we develop and we evolve, we would look at what we can embrace given the resources we have to do so. So in a nutshell, that is basically what the project is about. We are going to move, this is the launch of the center, but we are going to move from a project to a program. And as I said, the intention is to make CFBC and St. Kitts the hub for training, research, innovation in the renewable energies. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkin, for providing that context and background to the project and for sharing the vision for this project. Dr. Wayne E. Archibald, Executive Director of Green Solutions International, SKN, is a visionary, lecturer and entrepreneur in renewable energy with more than 2 decades of extensive experience across Jamaica, St. Kitts, and the wider Caribbean. He is also an adjunct professor at Clark Atlanta University. He has held a few roles in the sector during his impressive career and has facilitated training for leading regional and international agencies, including the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the United Nations Development Program, Guyana. He has received several grants from national and international agencies, including the National Science Foundation, the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Education, the United Nations Environmental Program, and the U.S. Department of Energy. He has completed foundational work on energy development in the U.S. Virgin Islands and has been instrumental in providing solutions and pertinent information to members of the local legislature on energy and environmental issues. Early in his career, Dr. Archibald joined the U.S. Army as an enlisted soldier for 3 years. Having completed his studies, he had a 5-year stint in the semiconductor industry as a product development engineer for digital and analog devices at Texas Instruments in Dallas and Massing Integrated Products in Oregon. Dr. Archibald served as an assistant professor of chemical and physical sciences in the College of Science and Math at the University of the Virgin Islands from 2010 to 2016, and was the founding director of the Caribbean Green Technology Center at that institution. During his time there, he was appointed visiting research fellow at Harvard University, where his research on materials for fuel cells was funded by the National Science Foundation Leadership Development Initiative for Young Investigators. His collaboration with the Army Research Lab in Aberdeen, Maryland, during his tenure at UVI as a visiting scientist afforded him the opportunity to have his work used for outreach and educational purposes. He was also a lecturer at the University of the University of the West Indies. Additionally, he is a co-author of the Caribbean chapter of the 4th National Climate Assessment produced by the U.S. Global Change Research Program. His publication, Islands in the Sun, and the Solar Power Deployment Initiative in the U.S. Virgin Islands was featured on the cover of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineer, Electrification Magazine, March 2015 issue. Dr. Archibald obtained his Associate of Science in Physics and Bachelor of Science in Chemistry with honors from the University of the Virgin Islands and completed his Master of Science and PhD at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He also completed a 1-year postdoctoral fellowship in mechanical engineering at CMU. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Wayne E. Archibald to offer his remarks. This will be followed followed by a brief presentation by the technical director, Mr. Ian McDonald.
Thank you very much. For a minute there, I was wondering who she was talking about. But I always wanted to say that, so I'm good morning to everyone. There's no place like home. Please allow me to adhere to the protocol established as customary to extend our gratitude to the esteemed members of the GSI Advisory Board for their presence here today. I wish to acknowledge Mr. Colin Thomas, the President and CEO of Carl Merrick Analyticals, LLC in the United States, and the representatives of Mr. Alex Shai, the Deputy Secretary General of the Taiwan ICDF. We have Mr. Alex Tai and Mr. Roy Young Lo. Thank you very much for being here. I also wish to pay tribute to my late father, George Washington Archibald, who provided the blueprint and the guiding light for my career. And I am equally grateful for my mother for her steadfast support. Though she couldn't join us in person today, I know she is watching online. The success of this event is indebted to the exceptional guidance and leadership of Dr. Tamu Brown, the chair of the CFBC Board of Governors, along with the relentless dedication of President Abraham and Mr. Fitzroy Wilkin. And there are many others behind the scenes who have worked hard in order to bring this effort together. Thank you very much for that. Now, Green Solutions International, SKN Incorporated, was founded in 2017 with a mission to advance energy and environmental sustainability in St. Kitts and Nevis and neighboring islands throughout the Caribbean basin. Our journey began humbly with a workshop on climate change at the Charlestown Secondary School in Nevis, followed by a public lecture entitled Climate Matters right here at the CFBC, so it's only fitting that we will have the launch for this center in this same place. Over the first 2 years, we conducted 3 summer camps for high school students, known as E-camps. We taught them about solar energy, wind energy, climate change, and entrepreneurship. We have conducted NABCEP solar training courses right here at the CFBC and also installed solar systems at the Newton Ground Primary School and also at the Nevis Pottery, funded by the UNDP Small Grants Program. From 2017 to 2024, where we are now, our training initiatives have reached almost every island in the Caribbean, from Jamaica to Barbados, Guyana, all the OECS countries, and the US Virgin Islands. Now, in partnership with the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, we launched the Caribbean Center for Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training, which is a testament to our unwavering dedication to addressing the pressing challenges of our time. Our vision for this center is both ambitious and firmly rooted in the pressing needs of our region. It stands as a beacon of progress, dedicated not only to groundbreaking research, but also as a central hub for training and certification. Our aim is to cultivate a skilled workforce primed to confront the challenges and to seize the opportunities that lie ahead of us. As GSI recently joined the International Renewable Energy Agency's SIDS Lighthouses Initiative as the 88th member, we proudly take our place among a global community dedicated to sustainable development. What we bring to the table are the best of the best experts in their respective fields. Our team comprises of leading authorities in climate change, solar energy, electric vehicle technology, and waste-to-energy technology. These individuals bring with them a wealth of knowledge, experience, and passion, driving our mission to transform the Caribbean into a hub of sustainability and innovation. And by the way, if you want to check out more about those people that I'm talking about, please subscribe to my podcast. It's called the GSI Podcast. It can be found on YouTube, Apple, iHeartRadio, and Amazon. Thank you very much. Our solar and EV instructors are not just educators. They are pioneers blazing trails in their respective industries and shaping the future of renewable energy and transportation. Their dedication to excellence ensures that every training program that will be delivered here at the center meets the highest standards of quality and relevance. One of the focal points of the center would be solar photovoltaic training and certification through the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, called NABCEP. And we are pleased to have the President and CEO of NABCEP, Sean O'Brien, and Operations Manager, Ursula Abrams, here today in support of our NABCEP Caribbean program. As a training provider, we have trained and certified over 750 persons from across the Caribbean, including 75 from our beautiful islands of St. Kitts and Nevis. In addition to the 15 persons going through the trainer program right now, we are also training 25 persons from the BVI, Montserrat, and Anguilla through funding from OECS through our online global platform. We also recognize the growing importance of electric vehicles in the transition to a low-carbon future. That is why we have teamed up with NTAC to create a satellite IMI center here in St. Kitts that will provide comprehensive training for mechanics and first responders in EV maintenance and repair, And we are pleased to have Ian MacDonald joining us virtually from the UK. And we will have some remarks right after I'm done here. We want to extend a sincere and heartfelt thank you to our Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, who have also extended support for the establishment of the EV lab here at the college. Applause. Our efforts in Jamaica and Bermuda have already borne fruit, with hundreds of individuals equipped with the skills necessary to support the fast-growing EV market in the Caribbean. This is just the start of our journey, and we anticipate that St. Kitts and Nevis will swiftly become the foremost destination for year-round solar and EV training. We call upon the support. Applause. Thank you very much. I have to keep saying this. We call upon the support of funding agencies both locally, regionally, and internationally to join us in constructing a sustainable future for the Caribbean. In closing, I invite each of you to join us on this transformative journey. Together, let's build a resilient, sustainable future for the Caribbean. One training program, one certification, one solar panel at a time. Wow. Thank you very much. Now, I believe at this time we will have a video. We have Ian right there. Ian is streaming from the UK, and he will present some remarks on the Institute of the Motor Industry Certification Program for Electric Vehicles. But I'm not sure if you were supposed to say that. No, it's fine.
Good day to you all. Can everybody hear me, or is technology letting us down? Yes. You can see me and hear me, I hope. Well, that's good. Well, firstly, many thanks for inviting me. I am deeply honoured and privileged to be part of the proceedings today. So sincere thanks to all. Next, it was only right to congratulate everybody involved with this project, whether they're from CFB College or GSI and other industry and connected partners. From us here in the UK at INTAC, we would like to say a collective well done, congratulations to everybody involved. You should be, and I hope are, very proud of what you've achieved thus far to get to this opening event. So well done to everybody. A personal intro from me, as Wayne's already mentioned, my name's Ian MacDonald and I work for a company called INTAC. And INTAC have two principal bases, one in the UK where I'm speaking to you from right now, but also we have INTAC USA that was formed literally September, October of last year. So we have people much closer to you currently than I am presently. So that gives you a little bit of an overview as to our aspirations and intentions in the coming months and years. But more importantly, who are INTAC? INTAC can be best summarised by saying we are experts in the electric and hybrid field, vehicle field, particularly in keeping technicians and students safe as they learn about working on these vehicles. And that's critically important, and we've been doing that now for over 10 years. You could describe us as a one-stop shop, and indeed that would be quite accurate, because we can provide anything and everything from insulated safety gloves, insulated tools, warning signs, training courses, the list goes on. Help with writing policy documents, you name it, we've done it, and we do it on a daily basis. So we literally are, you can pick up the phone if you have nothing in your workshop and say, what do we do from here, guys? And we can help you through to the end of the project to get you working safely on these vehicles. INTAC have worked with GSI, with Dr. Wayne Archibald in particular, for probably over 2 years now. And we have both become, to be fair, friends. We know and trust each other intensely. And all I would say is that everyone who works with Wayne and has partnered up to make this centre of excellence what it is as of right now, you're in safe hands. Going forward, you continue to be in safe hands, and we have great praise for his work and also for all the work of his colleagues. So thank you and well done, Dr. Archel. On the subject of safety, EVs are new and exciting, or relatively new and exciting compared to an internal combustion engine vehicle, of course, but they're not without risks and hazards. And that's where people like GSI and INTAC, you have our attention. It's not commonly well known that they can basically kill you, and I'll give you a couple of headline figures. It's well recognized in our industry that electric and hybrid vehicles use DC voltage, battery voltage, as opposed to AC voltage, domestic mains voltage, and anything in excess of 60 volts DC. So anyone writing this down, scribble these facts down pretty quickly if you can. 60 volts DC has the capability to stop a human heart. And then I'll follow that up by simply saying that even the oldest hybrids and EVs, some of which are approaching 20 plus years old, even back then in the day, they were carrying high voltage DC systems in excess of 200 volts DC. So even from their inception, from the first moment they arrived on our roads, they had the potential to kill. Now that's a very sobering thought, and maybe not the best tone to draw or to outline rather on a day like today of celebration. But I'm trying to make a point here. I'm sure you understand that they are dangerous, and therefore it's essential that your technicians, your colleagues, the staff at the college are educated and trained and fully understand those risks and hazards and allow everyone to basically avoid them. There are three major areas of risk and hazard, and they can be best summarized, again for those with notepads, by three letters, E, F, I, and those three letters stand for electrocution, fire, and ignorance. The good news is that by undertaking training courses, technicians and the wider community can largely avoid those three pitfalls, those three major hazards underlined by the letters EFI. So therefore, what we're saying to you as a group is that the excellence that's been portrayed to you through this new centre and the training programs and education that will be available to all, these things will drastically reduce or eliminate the risks and hazards of those three letters that I've outlined, EFI. In other words, training is the cornerstone of all safety. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it, but sadly, there are some that avoid it. Unfortunately, with electric or hybrid vehicles, there will be no second chances for the reasons that I've already outlined, the high voltage DC systems that are related here. So make sure that you and your colleagues get trained, spread the word, get the candidates through the college, get them trained, keep them safe, and then away we go. We all get up to do our jobs of work the following day. As Wayne's outlined, INTAC are an IMI approved training centre, and the IMI is the UK's Institute of the Motor Industry. They are widely recognised, not just in the UK, but across Europe and indeed around the world. They've been offering training courses on 4 levels, levels 1, 2, 3 and 4, rather obviously, for over a decade now. Well established, well informed, great content, and recognised across the global community. It's those courses that will be offered through the college and through the collaboration with GSI. And rest assured, INTAC will be behind the scenes supporting our satellite centre that Wayne's outlined just in his closing remarks to make sure that the candidates achieve their ambition, their intention of gaining the certificate, regardless of the level that they decide to take. So we'll be in the background supporting, encouraging, and doing whatever we need to do to get those candidates across the finish line to have a notable, credible certificate for their EV training course. Lastly, we'd like to wish everyone at GSI, the Centre of Excellence, and everyone who works or studies there every success, and congratulations once more from us at INTAC for getting this far, for getting the project to this stage. It's to your great credit collectively, and thank you from us. And as I say, congratulations. Well done, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ian, for giving us the assurance that we are indeed in good hands. Just another pushpin advertisement. Please don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, GSI. At this time, I would like to recognize the Honorable Joel Clark, and I would like to also recognize the Chief Education Officer, Mr. Francil Morris. Good morning, welcome. Sean O'Brien is the President and the CEO of North American Board for Certified Energy Practitioners, NABCEP. NABCEP is the most respected and widely recognized certification organization for professionals in the field of renewable energy. NABCEP offers certifications and credentials for skilled professionals, specialists, and those new to working in the areas of photovoltaics, solar heating, and small wind technologies. His role at NABCEP has afforded him the privilege of working with many organizations addressing climate change and the challenges of moving to renewable energy resources. Sean has 20 years of experience in the certification industry. He brings an extensive background in certification management, continuing education, and global expansion. He has presented internationally on the issues regarding field testing, credentialing standards, examination, education, and continuing competency. In addition to his direct service work with assessment design, Sean has assisted certification and regulatory boards in recognizing the proper role of an examination in the credentialing process of how its quality is directly related to growth of a profession. Prior to joining NABCEP, Sean served as Chief Operating Officer of the National Board for Certified Counselors, NABCEP. Please join me in welcoming Mr. O'Brien to make his remarks.
Thank you and good morning. That makes me feel very old. I want to thank you for inviting NABCEP to be part of this launch of the Center for Excellence. We thank Prime Minister, the college, and especially GSI and Dr. Archibald and his team. It's been a privilege to work with them over the last couple of years. We talk about, or you've been talking about the trainings and the partnership between GSI and the college, but we've had a partnership with Wayne now for 3 years? More? Yeah. So NABCEP is not a training company. We are a certification accreditation body. So, and the name itself, the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, is a very big mouthful. And it isn't true anymore. We are not just the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners. We established our first international office in Amman, Jordan. So we have NABCEP MENA that covers the entire Middle East and North Africa. And then we launched, with partnership with GSI, the NABCEP Caribbean. So we're very happy to have that. Alrighty. So we talk about solar being relatively new in this region. It's still relatively new in the U.S. as well. We heard about pioneers in the region. The pioneers of solar in the U.S. are still living today. It's only been 50 years since those first pioneers, the hippies in Northern California, in Humboldt County, took and we're living off the grid, and we're using anything they could find, old panels that NASA had developed just to create energy for them to live off grid. They've taken that, and those pioneers today are the ones who are making more developments through NREL and other national labs to continue the progress of the development of all of the products that go towards solar energy. So it's not only new here, it's new everywhere. And with that comes some risks you have to take in developing partnerships and trainings, and sometimes convincing people that this is the way we need to go. If we all want our grandchildren to have a planet to live on, this is the way we need to go. So as I was saying, NABCEP's only 22 years old, so we started very small with very little. And in those 22 years, we have grown to have over 30,000 certified people across the world, excuse me. And we've kept to the same model, which is those 4 bullets there, to promote renewable energy, to promote the value of practitioners, worker safety and skill, and consumer confidence. And the first 3 are going very well. Some of the hardest part is consumer confidence, and it's about educating the consumer. And by consumer, I mean the practitioners. They need to see the value in taking the training and getting certified. The homeowner or the small business owner has to see the value in putting a system on their home or on their business. It's not cheap, but they have to see the long-term value in it. And then also, to employers. Employers have to understand that they need well-trained employees, employees who are dedicated to best practices, what we like to say, safe and effective practice. They do it safely and effectively so the system works, and it works well, and it doesn't cause any harm. So just a quick thing, what is certification? You probably know, but I always leave this information in there because there's some people who don't understand the difference between a state or government regulated license and a certification, and in different parts of the world, those terms mean different things. So for NABCEP, certification is a voluntary process. So you can voluntarily do it, it's not required. However, in the US, and in some other areas we work in, there are entities that recognize a NABCEP certification. For instance, in the state of Illinois, Duke Energy, which is in the southeast of the US, if someone installs the system who's NABCEP certified, that homeowner or business owner is then entitled to a rebate. And so they can get money from the utility or sometimes from the jurisdiction. Sometimes it's a state jurisdiction, sometimes it's a smaller jurisdiction within the state. So although NABCEP's certifications are not required by law, they are required by different utilities. So either if the system is not installed by or commissioned by a NABCEP certified installer, then that homeowner or business owner would not be entitled to those benefits. I think someone mentioned earlier, all NABCEP certifications, or one of NABCEP certifications is accredited by ANSI, ISO, and they all are built around the same standard. So those standards being 5 pillars that we build all our certifications around, which is training, and then experience, passing the examination, adhering to a code of ethics, which is very important. Because at NABCEP, we're not only a certification body, we take that the ethics piece very seriously. So if a customer has a problem with a system or with the company that installed the system, if that company has individuals who are certified by NABCEP, we then can go on and advocate on behalf of that customer, and we bring them forward, and we have an ethics proceeding and hearing. Sometimes we're able to advocate on behalf of the customer, so they get the installation company to do what they need to fix the system or to repair whatever issue, to make the customer whole again. Sometimes they're unwilling to do it, and so we can take their certification away from them. And it's very important if they're in an area where that certification is required for some of those programs through the utilities. So they're usually very willing to work with us because they want to keep their certification. And then the last being continuing education, furthering their education and their standards. So every 3 years, they do need to recertify and prove that they've kept up with best practices. One of the reasons why I have a presentation is because we have a lot of certifications. So the entry-level certification we refer to as the PV Associate. The newest one, and I was talking with Ricardo earlier, we need, US everywhere needs more folks properly trained to do all the various roles within the industry. One of the ones that's come out recently in the last year and a half is folks working in operation and maintenance, the O&M. Because systems that are 15 and 20 years old, they need to be serviced properly. Panels need to be replaced, batteries need to be fixed, inverters, all the different products. Those products have warranties, so that's not an issue. But a lot of times, the company that installed it 15 years ago may no longer be in business. And even though those products may be under warranty, the system as a whole may not. And at the time that was installed, there was very little or didn't exist. You couldn't get a warranty insurance policy to cover the system as a whole. So there's a lot of systems out there that are being repaired and need fixed, but there's very little folks who are willing to do that work or trained properly to do that type of work. So we're working with a grant from the Department of Energy to create a new entry-level O&M credential for folks to get into that area. We already have the PV commission and mason specialist, so that's a higher level, but what's needed is that laborer in the O&M scope of the work. So as you can see, we have various certifications. We just launched the new one. Oh, that is on. So the bottom one, the energy storage, we got a grant from the National Science Foundation to create the energy storage certification, which is becoming more and more popular and more needed in the US, particularly in some areas that are prone to hurricanes or other disasters, so that folks not only can have a solar system that generates their energy needs during the day when the sun is shining, but also they can store their energy at their home to be able to keep the lights on when it's nighttime. So it's a very important training and certification as the industry continues to grow. You can move it forward. Okay. So this slide might be a little hard to read, but this is probably one of the most popular pieces of information that NABCEP delivers to trainers and to individuals who are looking to get certified. Because before we had created this, we would get phone calls from individuals who say, I want to get NABCEP certified. Well, what do you do? Well, I do this, I do that. Well, which certification would you like? I don't know, you tell me. I was like, no, we can't do that. So we created this career wheel that aligns our certifications with various roles and job responsibilities in the industry so that we can help someone. In the middle, you see the PV Associate credential. A person does not have to start there. That is the best place for someone who's just getting into the industry, perhaps, not coming out of an engineering degree maybe, not an electrician, or making a career change, or a young student who's just graduating from high school is the best place for them to start. So that's their basic training. And they can get that credential, which then can help them get that first job, because they can take that information, they can go into a hiring manager's office and say, hey, I want to get into this industry. I feel strongly about the purpose of this industry. I've already had my NABCEP PV associate credential. The employer, which is NABCEP's job and now GSI's job in the region, is to convince employers and let them understand what the PV associate means, the training that that student had to go through or that person had to go through, the exam that person had to test, and understanding that they also have to do continuing education. So they're going to be that dedicated employee. And just by getting the credential, the hiring person knows this person's dedicated to this. They're just not walking off the street. They've taken the time to take the training, pass the exam, and get the credential. So it's very important. But the other ones are all just various. And someone had mentioned earlier that only one female took the original training. We were there once, but it's like with some of the new certifications, which we have plenty of females who do the installation, but the design specialist has really increased the number of females who get certified with NABCEP. So I mentioned earlier we have 30,000. We're approximately at 15% of our certificates are female. So that's really good. We're very proud. We just had our annual education conference this past March in Raleigh, North Carolina, which Dr. Archel was there. We had just over 1,000 individuals at the conference, and about 10 to 12% of those attendees were female as well. So it's really good. NABCEP has a lot of different initiatives to get underrepresented populations into the industry and get them employed in the industry. This is one of my favorite slides and it really needs to be seen. I'm a visual learner, so I think it really needs to be seen and not just heard. When we see that ECPs are saying 60% of them saying that NABCEP certification, particularly the PV installation professional, is an essential or very important when hiring, because they understand that that person knows what they're doing. That average increase in salaries based on U.S. income, or U.S. Salaries. So, but generally after getting the board certification, so either the PVIP or one of the certification, not necessarily the associate, the individual usually sees a nice pay raise. And then what's really nice is 26% of our board certified folks eventually end up opening their own business. So that's really important to NABCEP, because when we started, it was all about trying to help people get jobs in the industry. Today, what we strive for is building them a career within the industry, giving them that space and that place to be able to have a career, something they can build a family on, which is very important to us. Now, this wouldn't apply to all, but I wanted to show it because it shows what NABCEP's trying to do to get underrepresented populations, or populations that traditionally may not look at solar energy. So we have programs. All of our certification programs are recognized by the U.S. Veterans Affairs. So that anyone separating from the service can get money to help pay for the examination through the GI Bill and things of that nature. So it's just one of the programs that we're implemented. The other one, Wayne has mentioned about high school students. So we're working with school districts in the U.S. to have that PV associate training delivered the second semester of their junior year of high school and their senior year of high school, so that those are the students who decide they want to get in go vocational route instead of a college degree can come out of high school. They've already taken that entry-level type training. They can get the PV associate, and then right away, coming out of high school, can go and try to apply for a job in the industry, which really is beneficial to those students. What we've found when we see younger folks who have done that is that a lot of them end up, one of the programs we're working with in Arkansas, the students generally get a job, but then continue with the University of Arkansas has a 2-year technical program. So they'll continue in that community college type setting. And then some of them also go on to the university for sustainability degrees and things of that nature. But it, again, gives them that pathway to build not only a career, but to continue their education as well. And that's all I have for you. So thank you again. Any questions, we're happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien, for providing us with that overview of NABCEP and the NABCEP certifications. At this time, I would like to invite our chair, Dr. Tamara Brown, to share brief remarks. Can you put your hands together, please?
Good day, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to adopt the protocol ably established. I'm here to provide some feminine energy and a break on the ice. But on a serious note, I thought that it was important because the program is very male-centric. And I wanted to ensure that the public here and the listening public, that they understand that we take gender parity very seriously. And despite the fact that the speakers are mainly male, it is important to note that our Board of Governors is about 50% women and led by 2 women. And I see my deputy chair here, Cherise, she's laughing, Cherise Dolphin Gums, and of course the majority of our deans, etc., they are also women. And I'd like to also acknowledge the work of Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, under whose purview this program will be run, Dr. Moya Routham. And of course, we have Governor Pistana, who serves in her dual role as PS of Education. And when I brought this idea, it was just an idea. I didn't have any clue how we would fund it. I didn't have any clue. But I know that it was a need, and it had to be done. And the Board of Governors gave me their unwavering support. And in just a little over a year, we have moved from ideation to implementation, and that deserves commendation. CFBC has audacious goals, and we intend to achieve them. Next for us is regional harmonization across community colleges in the OECS region, and we intend to be the leaders on that. And so as we establish this center of excellence, this will become our linchpin, and we will be inviting our OECS nationals to come to study with us. And of course, we are courting other OECS community colleges for their, for movement into their programs of excellence. We are specifically focused in areas of emerging technology. And so also as we move forward, the next step for us, is an emerging technology focused curricula, particularly in the TVET area. And so we do intend, as we move towards international accreditation, to revamp that office and administration program and to provide core content in artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies. So this is a CFBC that is transforming. We have women at the helm, and notwithstanding the president is a man, but okay. And I think that it is important to note that, particularly in this area where women are underrepresented. So thank you all for being here, and we will invite the Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and please allow me, my student. It's always a good feeling, so I do this every time, recognize my students or my teachers. allow me to also recognize the Honorable Prime Minister who is here with us, our senior minister in our cabinet, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, cabinet colleague Honorable Dr. Joel Clark, and Honorable Gart Wilkin. I recognize, of course, the chair of the CFBC board and all of the other directors, president of the CFBC, the vice president, and faculty and staff, Dr. Wayne Archibald, my brother, my constituent, my schoolmate. I won't tell you the licks he have been giving me up to this morning. Our distinguished visiting guests, our Cuban ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely proud to be here this morning. And if I may, before I go through some jottings, if there are two persons I know among all of us, I know many of us are extremely proud and happy this morning. But as a psychologist, as I look in the eyes of some persons, I choose this morning to highlight two persons that I know they are beaming this morning. Firstly, our Honorable Prime Minister. He's extremely happy that this is in fact happening right now. And of course, you heard her earlier promoting women, the chair of our board, because one of her vision, and I believe is part of the board as well, is to turn this campus green. And this is a project in that direction. So I want to thank her and her entire team for the leadership that they provide and the support that they provide. But it is a great pleasure for me to stand before you today at the launch of the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College. This transformative initiative, born out of a collaboration partnership between CFBC and Green Solutions International, holds immense promise to our beloved Federation and the wider Caribbean region. Now, when I look at the purpose and the vision, it is clear that the Caribbean Center of Excellence aims to position our region at the forefront of sustainable innovation and skilled workforce development. By fostering research, promoting innovation, and providing comprehensive training, we aspire to create a brighter future for our people. And Dr. Archibald sent me some background information. The center, of course, as you heard it earlier, would focus on solar PV installation, that is, equipping professionals with the expertise to harness solar energy efficiently, and EV maintenance and repairs, that is, addressing the growing demands for skilled technicians in the EV industry. Quite timely, because 5 buses should be on their way from Taiwan eventually for our students. As we look at addressing the gap, we recognize that the Eastern Caribbean faces a significant gap in comprehensive PV and EV training and services. Our center, and I'm claiming it, will fill this void, becoming the regional hub for training and expertise in these vital fields. You heard earlier through many presentations that the training will kick off with a 6 weeks train the trainer workshop, combining online self-paced instruction with a hands-on practical component. The initial training cycle will be offered free of charge to CFBC, allowing us to build capacity and sustain this project. Free of charge. Of course, we're extremely grateful for the financial support that we received from the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program. They have graciously funded this initiative with an estimated cost of US $116,000, and of course, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis put in $100,000, I was told this morning by Dr. Archel. Therefore, our gratitude goes to the GEF and the government for recognizing the importance of sustainable energy solutions. We look at this partnership and commitment very seriously. And the formalized partnership between CFBC and GSI, solidified through a memorandum of agreement, underscores our shared commitment to progress. Together, we envision a Caribbean where innovation thrives and our workforce is equipped for the challenges of tomorrow. As we move towards a sustainable future, the Center's associated initiatives represent a major stride towards realizing a sustainable energy future. By empowering locals and regional professionals, we can drive economic growth, protect our environment, and enhance quality of life. In closing, let us celebrate this momentous occasion, a beacon of hope, knowledge, and opportunity. May the Caribbean Center of Excellence create that fire that will brighten our path towards greener future. Thank you, and let us embark on this journey together. Thanks to all who made this possible.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. Teacher. We are all beaming with pride. So now, the moment you have been waiting for. Yes. So please welcome our Prime Minister, who will officially launch the project.
Good morning to all. It is indeed a pleasure, and I do not say it because it's a cliche. It is because I really deem it a pleasure to have the opportunity to give these remarks at this launch. As you would know, many would have spoken, but before I go on, let me just recognize a number of persons: the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Education. You just heard from him. our senior minister, former prime minister, our learned AG. Also want to recognize Dr. Joya Clark, Minister for Sustainable Development, who just stepped out a moment, to recognize the head of service, also the PS for Education, and also Mr. Wilkin, who is leading on this. But from the college's end, of course, the chair of the board, Woman Power, it is well placed, and also President Abraham. But allow me to recognize Dr. Archibald and the members from the team who were also here, and the certification organization that had their presentation as well, and all those who are involved on that level. But allow me also to recognize our partners in our development here with us, Ambassador David from the Republic of Cuba to St. Kitts and Nevis, and also to recognize the representatives from the Republic of China, Taiwan, who have also been partners with us. So I want to recognize broadly the members from SCELEC and other areas who are involved in this, and those who have the media and so forth. I say all of that really to recognize that this effort this morning is an all hands on deck effort. Why is it so essential that this launch should include all of us? Because we have set out on the journey to create a sustainable island state. I believe strongly, and the cabinet colleagues believe strongly, that St. Kitts and Nevis can become the first sustainable island state. And in order to get there, we have put together a program to help us to accelerate to where we want to get. And so the sustainable island state is not just a concept, but we had actually put it in a program form. And for the first time in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis, we presented at the voluntary review, national review, at the United Nations. And I think we did that in August, September of 2023. And that was led by our esteemed Minister of Energy, the Honorable Conrad Maynard, who cannot be here today as he's away on national duty. That signaled to the world that St. Kitts and Nevis, despite our size, that we are Talawa. That's colloquial to mean we are what? Strong. All right. Whatever you want to replace it. But it means, therefore, that despite our size, we are courageous and daring in making sure that we be heard on the international scene. Let me also say that I had the opportunity when I went to COP28 to share the stage with the Vice President of the United States of America. I remember when she spoke about St. Kitts and that she had partnered directly with St. Kitts and Nevis. It was not by accident, but it's because we have presented to the world a plan that is workable, doable, makes sense. And in that plan, as I've said, we are not seeking for pity because of climate change. We are saying to them, though we have suffered beyond what we have caused, because our carbon footprint is negligible, but we are suffering as a result of the climate change that the carbon in the atmosphere is causing. We are not seeking your pity. To say, poor St. Kitts, look at how they are suffering. We are seeking partnerships. And we are not seeking partnerships thinking that you should bring everything to the table. But St. Kitts and Nevis, in its Talawaness, is bringing to the table our solutions where we can form true partnerships to resolve the problems. What have we done since we have been so bold, but humbly bold? We are about to start the largest solar battery storage possibly in the whole Caribbean. That solar program or project is supposed to get started in about a month to 2 months. It will be the largest in the Caribbean. Not largest per capita, but largest in the largest by any measure. It is important that we speak that way. But in addition to that, the reason why I supported this program so strongly, and when Dr. Archibald and I spoke, is that if we are going to create a solar farm that is so large, and we are saying to the world that we are going to become the first sustainable island state, and we have taken that bold step, we have to take the other bold step, which is to create the largest certification program here in the OECS, so that our people can be trained for those jobs. So we're going to take them right from college to the job site so that they can see the purpose and essence of their work. And just to add, I've spoken to the company that is doing the solar farm, and I've informed them of this that we are starting at the college. And they have expressed, because they have many experts working with them, and they have expressed their interest in partnering with CFBC. So as you train your people, we take them straight to the job site. No need to import workers in this renewable energy space. But we have also been bold. St. Kitts and Nevis now has the first 4th generation solid state supercapacitor solar energy storage facility here in St. Kitts and Nevis at Sunset Reef. 4th generation solid state supercapacitor. Only one as indicated to me by the company operating commercially in the world. Some might say, why did we do that? Because again, we have to be bold. And that plant can now supply energy to Skellig. So I see the manager for Skellig here, and I'm hoping that he's taking that free energy from that system to add to our system here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and can help to increase our capacity and in some way lower the cost of energy. That has been a bold step as well. Another bold step that we are taking, in addition to those, is to make sure that geothermal as a source of renewable energy becomes a reality here in our federation. That required political will in the sense that St. Kitts and Nevis, we have decided as separate islands, even though we are one federation, to treat that source as a federal asset where both islands can benefit almost equally. And so we are in the final stages of securing full funding to do the first stage of that project. And that is why I'm traveling to the Middle East very shortly to finalize discussions on making that a reality. We are small, but we are. That can almost ensure that within the next 2 to 3 years, 4 years, that St. Kitts and Nevis can go almost totally green. And with that energy, if you look at the last IMF report, look at it. In that report, the summary which they revealed a few weeks ago, they have done the financials with respect to creating energy as a sector in the Federation. And if you read those financials, it says, that section says that St. Kitts and Nevis can become totally self-sustaining, independent, and therefore that gives us the opportunity for true freedom and liberation. It means, therefore, that renewable energy is our gateway to our economic and financial freedom. We must not hesitate. And that is why we are working so swiftly and quickly, because in our Sustainable Island State Plan, there are 7 pillars. And at the center of it is energy. So that plan, which is well thought out, and the Honorable Joy Clark would have taken the lead on that. It is so thought out that if we resolve the energy issue, which is the center of the wheel, the others are like spokes. Let's imagine a bike wheel. If you solve this, all the others fall in line and the wheel turns. And that is why you see that we are so aggressive in getting that energy piece resolved. Because if we have energy, we will have water. Our water deficit, that is as a result fundamentally due to climate change over which we have no control. If we have sufficient low-cost energy, we can desalinate all the water that we need to consume 24/7 in St. Kitts and Nevis and beyond. If you have energy and water, you have food in abundance. Cut down on the cost of living, cut down on food import. That food most likely would be healthier, cut down on NCDs, blood pressure, diabetes, and all these things. If we go renewable, means less waste, less CO2, creating a healthier environment, not only for us, but for those around. I went through those just to show you how all of it connects. And it does not connect as a figment of our imagination, but it connects because there is a workable plan that will make this possible. And so as I bring this to an end, I ask, where do you come in? Where do all of us come in? If you look at the plan, you fit nicely into one of the pillars. I don't care what you do in St. Kitts and Nevis. If you are a teacher at CFBC, look at what CFBC is doing as part of that plan, creating a certified course to prepare the people to help us to transition to renewable energy. CFBC is locked in. And as the chair said, they want to become a green institution, a campus, of course, fitting into that plan. Whatever you do, if you are the media, just by transmitting this information and influencing people in a positive way to be a part of this journey, you too are part of creating the sustainable island state. If you are a teacher in a high school, you are too are part of it. Those of you who are part of the certification course, whatever you do, you are contributing to our transition. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank the President and CEO of the North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, NABCEP, who spoke earlier, who will facilitate the solar PV training and certification. I want to thank you as the Prime Minister, even though you would have been thanked by others, as well as the manager, operations manager, Ms. Ursula Abrams. I also want to take this opportunity to really thank the CRIWT, the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training. I also want to thank, of course, Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and to thank Green Solutions International, SKN Incorporated, Dr. Wayne Archibald, a son of the soil. And I want to thank, of course, he's from there. He said you're from East Bastia. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you who are directly involved with the launch of this course. The OECS should benefit from this. I've said to them, and I'm the chair of the OECS, that St. Kitts and Nevis will bring real solutions to the energy situation and the climate change matters across the OECS. This is going to be offered to them along with other things that we are planning in the space. And so I am immensely proud of what is happening today, that St. Kitts and Nevis is becoming a hub, a center of excellence, a leader in the space of creating a sustainable future for all of us. Thanks again, and may God bless all of you.
We are small, but we are Talawa. At this time, we'll invite Dr. Moya Rotham, our Vice President of Academic and Student Affairs, to give the vote of thanks.
Good morning. With all protocols maintained and established, I am thankful to be here, and as I said, good morning. Even so, the body is not made up of one part, but of many. Now, if the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being part of the body. And if the ear should say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would be the sense of hearing? If the whole body were an ear, where would the sense of smell be? As we conclude the launch of this remarkable project, I am reminded of the profound truths expressed in Corinthians. Just as the human body is comprised of many parts, each indispensable to its functioning, so too is this project a culmination of the collective efforts of numerous entities. No single entity can take sole credit for its success. Rather, it is through the collaborative spirit and dedication of the Clarence Fitzroy Brands College and its partners that we have achieved our goal of launching the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training. Just as the foot cannot disown the hand, nor the ear the eye, each CFBC partner and supporter has played a vital role in bringing this project to fruition. As the foot and hand are important and execute different functions, in the same manner, I identify our partners and constituents in an order of mention that connotes no superiority or inferiority. I extend a profound appreciation to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, highlighting the offices of the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, along with the affiliated ministries in which they serve, which bear relevance to the project launch. Clarence Fitzroy Brands College leadership, board leadership, and membership. Green Solutions International, Escane Incorporated, GSI, North American Board of Certified Energy Practitioners, NABCEP, Global Environmental Facility, GEF, the GEF Small Grants Program, United Nations Development Program, UNDP, CFBC local partners, our first cohort of project participants who are being trained, CFBC administration, staff, students, to all persons CFBC who have assumed roles of project coordination and leadership, including those who have reviewed and prepared documents related to this venture, those who have planned and organized the execution of aspects vital for the manifestation of this launch, CFBC personnel who have played an active role in today's programming, you, our esteemed guests, for your participatory role and presence which validate the launch. In celebrating this launch, we recognize and honor the contributions of everyone, whether you gave of your resources, your expertise, support, your efforts have been integral to our collective success. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it. With this said, just as the body shares in both suffering and joy, so too have our partners share in the challenges and now the triumph of the manifestation of this endeavor. As we at CFBC express our gratitude to all our constituents, our partners, and well-wishers, we also reaffirm our commitment to continued collaboration and shared success in the future. Together, we have proven the power of unity and cooperation, and together we will continue to achieve higher heights of greatness. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rotham. And so, you know, all good things must come to an end, unfortunately. But we want to thank you today for being here to witness the launch of the Caribbean Center of Excellence in Research, Innovation, and Workforce Training. We want you to have a wonderful day and to continue doing your part in combating climate change. Have a pleasant day. Bye.